Hi, welcome back to Renee Ruth Music.
Hey.
Hope everyone is doing well. How are you?
I'm so fabulous. How are you?
Oh, amazing. 2023. Here we are. Really, I prepared a book report today.
I asked Chad to write a book.
So this might be a part 1 and part 2. We're not sure yet. But today we're talking about Cher. Fabulous. Cher is such an icon. That's why this might have to be a part 1 and part 2.
This actually, can we start where this spawned from? Because I saw a meme. In fact, Chad and I talked about how most of our stuff comes from a meme.
Right, it's
Like
true.
if you want to know
That's
where our
true.
inspiration comes from, thank you, memes.
Thank you for posting.
Thank you. Yes, thank you everyone for listening. You are our inspiration.
You are our inspiration.
So I saw a meme that said something about Cher's every decade she's won a Grammy.
Yeah.
And I was like, because if anyone knows, this is kind of like what I'm tracking.
That's right.
And so I was, because we know our phones aren't listening to us, I guess that's how that meme showed up, because I've been talking about Grammys. And then the meme showed up and said, did you know that Cher has won a Grammy every decade in her career? And I was like, and how many decades are in this career?
Right, yeah. Literally, yeah, 6. She's been doing this.
Did she start when she was in diapers? Like, when did she start?
Oh my gosh.
She's not that old. You're not that old.
She started when she was 16. She started when she was 16.
Was that with Sunny?
Was that? Yeah, well, yeah. So she actually met Sonny,
At 16.
and that was when they started. So Sonny was working for a producer,
Yeah.
and that was kind of how that whole thing started.
So
which
they
was
were together a long time.
They were together a long time because he died in 1998 in a skiing accident.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
even know
very
that
sad.
was so tragic. Yeah, they weren't together though.
They were not together then. No, they had, at that point, they had already split. So, which was so
I've been digging up on
fascinating.
Cher a little bit myself.
Which was so fascinating because they split and then ended up still doing a whole show together.
For real?
And the first divorced couple to do an actual TV show together.
As a divorced couple.
As a divorced couple. Which
Because they
had
were-
not ever been
Because
done.
they were Sunny and Cher.
There was something shit.
I mean, there's like literally that's a brand. Like,
Yeah, no, it
was like,
really
that was a
was.
name, that was a brand that's, good for them. But wow, I do think I heard that, their split was relatively amicable.
For the most part, yeah. So I mean, it was not working. He wanted to do other things. She was kind of in the same boat, not really being sure what she wanted. And so yeah, so it ended up. What was so funny was that they were their marriage was a little bit rocky. He ended up starting to go off seeing other people, and then kind of like crawled back. It was like, oh, please don't be done with me yet. And so they kind of kept going for a bit longer, and then they finally did.
They split it.
And they split.
Is that when Cher became Cher and did that like, do you believe in life after life?
You know what's so insane about that? Did you know that was 1989?
What?
It was like one of her
89?
most iconic songs, and it was the album of 1989.
I swear I did not hear it for the first time until like 1998.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It had already been around.
No!
Yes, had already
This is
been
like
around.
the TikTok, this is like the YouTube video that surfaces. Have you seen that kid that like drums? I can't think of his name right now, but like his 9-year-old drumming video just started to surface and he's like 19. He's like, thanks for bringing back my video from 10 years ago. I feel like that must have been Cher. It's like 1998. She's like, thank you. Like, it was on radio play in 1998.
I know.
Like top charting radio play.
No, it was
I'm gonna Google that because 1989?
Yeah, I mean,
Because it was like, he's got a bump. It was like this techno vibe track. Like I remember thinking, oh wow, she was different. Because remember she had like that auto tune thing. Like that's why I can't believe in love. Like it was almost like an auto pitch thing. It was like, which was stepping outside. If she was stepping that far outside of it in 1989, that is madness. Are you sure it's 89? He's checking right there.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. If I could turn back time, it was 1989.
If I could turn back time,
Yeah.
that I believe.
That was
yeah.
amazing. No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Believe was later.
98?
You are correct. That was later. Let me double check the date on that.
Okay, that's how much she's done. He's literally flipping through chapters.
This is how much Cher has done. Cher. So Believe was 1998. And it was Cher's 22nd studio album. 22nd. In 1998.
And to me, and for me, okay, I'd always heard of Sunny and Cher.
Yes.
Because my parents, when I grew up, it was oldies vibes in the car all the time.
Right.
And oldies back then was 50s and 60s.
I know.
So, yeah, like those oldies were in the car, and so Sunny and Cher would come on.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard Cher as like Madonna, like Cher on her own, it was 1998. I remember I was working out at the gym, and this stuff's playing on the radio, and it was this love and hate. Like I think everyone was Cher. Especially that in the 22nd album era, you either loved what she was doing or you hated what she was doing. And I was dating a guy at the time that thought she was stupid. And I was secretly like, like I'm over there going, I really dig this. Because it had that like techno vibe. And I was like, I'm digging
No,
this.
it's amazing. And Believe was actually certified quadruple platinum.
See, I had the right vibe. See, my ex was like, oh no, this song's so dumb. I was like, man, I think it's really good. Yeah.
No, so, and it went on to be certified gold and platinum in 39 countries, selling 10 million copies worldwide.
39 countries.
With her 22nd album. Like, this woman has had this
Like, she's
phenomenal
literally got,
career.
like,
I mean, it's just
all this music.
all this music. And what's so insane is that she literally took almost a decade hiatus from music.
How old is Cher?
How are you doing this?
Where is your fountain of youth? I must drink from it.
Yeah, because she took breaks at different points because then she started to
Acting
act, and she did all that, which was
Like,
so.
I'm busting out of my vest. I'm
Right,
so
this
amazed.
is how
I'm so
amazing it
amazed.
is.
I'm so
So she ended up taking like this break and started going into acting and took on all these roles, which was so funny because.
Okay, I don't think I've ever seen a movie Cher's been in.
Moonstruck?
Never.
For real?
Okay, really?
Oh my god.
I think we have a Friday night movie.
We clearly have a Friday night. Yeah, Moonstruck, actually, she won an Emmy for that.
What?
Yeah, like, I love Moonstruck. Such a good movie. Let me find it.
When did that come out? Moonstruck?
This was like, I think, 88.
You see, my parents, in the 80s, I was very young, so were you.
Yes, it's true.
And I was not allowed.
I remember watching Moonstruck when I was a teenager.
I was not allowed to watch but so many movies until I got to college. By the time college rolled around, that was not on the list of things we were watching.
Yeah, so actually what was funny was it was 89. And so she actually won.
Well, hold on. 89 is when Turn Back Time came out.
She did a lot of things all at once. Like there was
That's
actually.
my kind of woman.
Right? It was
That's my kind of woman.
That was a funny quote where she actually commented about how she could crank out an album in 3 days and was doing it all while she was still doing the Sunny and Cher TV show. And I was like, she just doesn't stop.
That reminded me of this summer while I'm still closing 10 houses and writing an album.
Writing a song.
And then training for a bikini competition.
Right, exactly. Like how many more things
I just didn't get into anything TV.
Yeah, and what was so funny was that after the success of Moonstruck, she was so worried about her next career move that she was being like super overly cautious because she had done so she had hit such a high mark and became she was
Did you
actually
feel like there's a falling out and then
right like she wasn't sure like
have
if she was going to be able to like keep
maintain
up that
it.
momentum because she wasn't an actress. Like that wasn't what she
So how
like
did she
went out
fall
to do.
Moonstruck? Were they using her music?
She had done that, and then, but she actually, which was, the ironic part is that she moved to LA when she was 16 and took acting classes. But that's not what she ended up even doing. Like, she ended up going into singing. So she basically went not really knowing what she wanted to do.
Where did she come from?
Came from a broken home.
In
Like,
what state?
because her dad, let's see, where was she? Because her dad left when she was 10 months old. And so, and her mom, Georgia Holt, was actually an actress.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, and so that's kind of how all of that ended up even
What,
starting.
like Chicago? I feel like if her mom was an actress, she should move to LA from like a New York or Chicago.
Yeah, I think it was Chicago.
Chicago?
So, but yeah, and so she was referred to as the goddess of pop.
Well, and there's so many women vying for that title. Like, I
Right.
feel like Madonna took her stab at that, and it's what also is interesting with these icons is how they're iconic in pockets of the world. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Cher's an icon to like a group. Well, some of this is fun too because we started watching Will and Grace again. And there's the episode where Cher comes on Will and Grace because in the gay community she's massive, like
Huge.
so massive, and
Huge.
so just how Jack is so in love with Cher and had that Cher doll in every one of the episodes. And suddenly Cher's actually there and he's calling her a drag queen. That's all I could do.
Oh my god.
I was like,
right.
she just really has like these communities of people.
No, she
that
does.
have really kind of clung to who she is and what she's created and what she stands for. And
Well, and what was so funny, I was crying when I was reading through these notes because the Sonny and Cher show, so they ended up having a comedy hour, and then they had another show as well.
the second show was the divorce show.
I think the second show was the divorce show, but then they both separately had their own show.
Their own show.
Yeah.
That's like our podcast.
They had their own show. Boy, so just a little sidebar, the sad part was that Sonny's did not work.
Oh no!
But Cher's did work.
Oh,
And the
no.
guy was like, yeah. Sonny,
Because Cher managed to maintain. Sunny did not create the same following she did
No.
for some reason.
No.
I don't know if it was her acting that set her apart or what, but like when you thought of Sunny, he wasn't even thought of. It was Sunny. Sunny couldn't be away from Sunny and Cher.
right.
Cher stood on her own.
Yeah. So they said Sonny without Cher was a disaster. Cher without Sonny, on the other hand, could have been the best thing that happened to weekly television this season. It's like, oh, sorry,
Could you
Sonny.
imagine being Sunny reading that? The press can be so mean.
They can be so mean.
Oh, it's so unnecessary.
Oh, here it is. So 1976, Mego Toys released a line of toys and dolls to the likeness of Sonny and Cher, which coincided with the popularity of the Sonny and Cher show.
Show, yeah.
The miniature versions of Cher ended up being the highest selling doll of 1976, surpassing Barbie.
Past Barbie, is that the doll that they were using
Yes,
on
that
Will
is
and
the
Grace?
one that they were using.
Okay. Mattel didn't make that?
Mattel did not make
Oh,
that.
wow.
Mega Toys did. But I mean, 1976. So I was like,
Oh, that is so
is that not
funny.
hilarious? So
Oh, you know who wants? Look, it's the same with Barbie. Ken never competed with Barbie.
No.
Because at the end of the day, girls are going to be the ones to buy the toys and girls tend to buy girl toys. And even if the boys are buying it, they still want the girl toys. So,
Right.
like, Jack proved that. So.
Yeah. So what I find so fascinating about Cher is that one, she had 4 musical comebacks in the course of her career. She could never quite get away from it. Always ended up coming back.
I love that it's a comeback too. So it's almost like the football player who like
Right,
retires and
right.
goes, but like it's like, in a musician's case, we don't physically age out the same way.
Mm-mm. No,
As
I,
long as your voice is still there, you keep coming back.
I feel like she's been on a fair road tour for the last 2 decades.
It's my last year.
last one I promise, because I think her first fair road tour, I think was 2001,
For real.
and she just keeps doing it.
Like the Queen. You should know,
It's
I
like,
know.
Which is fair, but she reinvented herself so many times. And I think there comes a point, because she did actually get pretty sick. And so I feel like there comes a point where
Life
you're
happens.
like, can I actually keep doing this?
Life happens.
Am I going to be able to handle, continuing to go on tour? Like she did her Vegas residency, her first one, which was a 3-year residency.
Yeah.
So, and she did very well with that, sold out every night. I mean, it was absolutely insane. So
She only did 3 years.
her first, yeah, like I think your initial residency is 3 years.
There's a way. Okay, because
Yeah.
I just went to Vegas. And, thinking about Celine having her residency, and I felt like she was there much longer.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's not like it can't be renewed or it can't
Or
like,
carry
or
on.
carry on.
And then
So-
you think about like one of the first big guys to do the residency was Elvis.
Right.
Like just so many of the big names that end up in a residency.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking like you live in Vegas.
Right.
So what?
No, right. So, well, she was making. This is insane to me. This was 1979
Yeah.
to 1981 was her 3-year residency, earning
In
$300,000.
Vegas.
Yeah, in Vegas, earning $300,000 a week. 1979, earning $300,000 a week. Like, can you even comprehend how much that is right now? Like,
she could have retired.
yeah. So, and so that tour, that residency, eventually became her first world concert tour as a solo artist. So.
Oh, that's where she began the solo career. Okay, that makes sense. That
So,
makes sense. So Sunny wasn't
very
part of that.
Yeah. So Sunny, and so they ended up what was a little bit sad was they ended up getting back together on, I think Late Night with David Letterman, 1986. No, 1987. They returned and reunited to sing an impromptu version of "I Got You Babe,"
Yeah.
which was their iconic song. So, and then it was 2 years after that he died in a ski crash. And that was the last time they were together on TV.
That is so sad.
Is that crazy?
That's so sad.
So,
Time flies.
time flies.
Well, I mean, I can't even imagine a 6-decade career.
No, and to reinvent yourself so many times.
So many times.
I mean, she dealt with so much backlash throughout the course of her career. I mean, just one, even starting off with such a lower range voice,
Yep.
which was
Not the
not
typical
accepted
female,
very well at
yeah.
all. So she really had to kind of like even work on that, and then going from wanting to be rock and roll, but it wasn't accepted, and then going into disco, and then going into dance, and then making her way finally back to rock and roll, while having this acting career throughout, which, I mean, she...
And also managing to have a kid and
Two.
deal with marriage. Well, she's got 2
Yeah,
kids.
she had 2
And
kids.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
it's
so...
just.
And then was 1 award away from an EGOT. So she was I think she's 1 of 5 that made it that close. So I think she was just missing the Tony.
No! So you say she could still do this?
She could still do that. I mean, she's 76, but she's clearly not stopping.
You
Because
know,
she shared.
Joni Mitchell was still performing in her 70s,
Yeah.
and beautifully so.
Well,
you know, like
absolutely.
it's that's again, like the voice is one of those things. As long as you look after, take care of it.
Well, I mean, Dolly's still going.
She's
I mean,
rolling.
she's not slowing down at all.
No.
So, I mean, it's
They're
just...
showing us what's possible.
They're showing us what's possible. I wanted to find, because it was funny, it's actually 2018.
Cher, this is your life story.
Cher,
No
I
pages.
mean, literally, we're going to have to do a part 2 because there's too much.
Yeah.
But in 2018, she made the comment about the things that she was going to be working on next.
Before the pandemic.
Yeah, before so I'm curious to know if she actually followed through with any of these things. It was a Christmas album that she was going to be making.
I don't know if I've heard
I don't think I've heard anything about a Christmas album, so it might be something that's still in the works.
So the next podcast, I think, should be where Cher is now, because we've really kind of highlighted a lot of her career.
Yeah, everything that she's
Till
done.
recent day.
Oh, okay, so she's the only artist to have a #1 single on the Billboard charts in 6 consecutive decades, from 1960
That's what
to
it was.
2010.
Not a Grammy every
Yeah.
decade, but a number
So,
one
number
on the
one.
chart every decade.
Every decade of her career.
She's the only one? I
The
feel like
only
Madonna
one.
would have done that too.
Nope. So.
Because
not-
Madonna did a lot to reinvent herself as well.
She did. No, she absolutely did. So, so being that 1998 was her 22nd studio album, I'm actually curious how many more she's done since then.
How many albums does she have in total?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure.
We have so much to learn
We
about
still have
Cher.
so much to
We
learn.
have so much to learn about Cher.
So,
And we're so going to learn it.
oh my gosh, there's
Because
so
we
much
think
to-
you're fabulous, Cher.
She is fabulous. We love her.
We love
But yeah, I mean, there were so many things about her that I just did not even have any idea about. So.
All started because I saw that it was actually 6. It wasn't the Grammys. It was a Billboard every decade.
Oh.
Billboard chart every decade, not a Grammy every decade. Although maybe she did win a Grammy every decade. I don't even know that.
She's won a lot. I mean, she's won Grammys, Emmys.
Multiples. Everything but a Tony.
Yeah.
What was
everything
the
but a
Tony for?
That's for theater, like Broadway.
Broadway.
Yeah.
She could do
So-
Broadway.
And she has. That's the thing. Like
She just didn't win anything
She
for
didn't
it.
win anything for it, but she actually did. I think that actually might have been what got her into acting. Like what she's
Fair.
actually like started to be in.
I'm thinking
Movies
Hugh
and everything
Jackman
like
now.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if he's won a Tony then.
Why do I feel like he has?
Because he's Broadway.
He's Broadway. He's amazing.
And we're going to talk about him next. Oh, he goes on the list. If you
Oh,
talk
he's
about
definitely
him.
gonna be on the list.
He's definitely
All
on the
right.
list.
Well, we'll have to do a part 2.
Yeah, part 2
There's so
coming
much
and
more.
Hugh Jackman coming, and we're just like,
Yeah.
we're excited for this year to talk about so many amazing.
So many amazing.
Yeah, this whole thing like leverage from being just about what I'm doing to like all the amazing things artists are doing everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
inspiring,
so great.
inspiring everyone.
It is
So-
so inspiring.
All right, you want to do fun facts?
Fun fact Friday.
Fun fact Friday. Well, this one is going to be about Cher.
Is It's on point. Okay.
She's amazing.
I think you can find many fun facts about Cher.
Right. So this goes back to what I was referring to about her voice being so low.
Oh yeah.
So she had her first single, Ringo, I Love You.
Like Ringo from the Beatles?
Yes, which Cher recorded under the name Bonnie Jo Mason. The song was rejected by many radio station programmers as they thought Cher's deep vocals were a man's vocals, therefore believing that it was a male homosexual singing a love song dedicated to Ringo Starr. Is that not so mental? So they thought it was a love song to Ringo Starr. I was like, wow.
Oh my gosh, the thing she had to put up with.
She put up with so much and did not
You're
stop.
like, it's my voice.
That's my voice.
You can't do anything about it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Is
my
that not
gosh.
crazy? That was like 1962.
They thought it was a man secretly singing.
Yeah, so Cher.
Did she ever release it?
I don't know.
Never?
No. So Bonnie Jo Mason, I'm so sorry, did not work for her. But Cher continued on.
Cher had a crush on Ringo. That is so cute.
Is that
Oh my
amazing?
gosh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that,
Yeah,
Chad.
thank you. That
Thank you
was
for
great.
joining us.
Yes.
Check all things Cher out.
Yes.
She deserves it. And we'll be back next time.
See you.
Cheers.